I've just spent ages looking for these hoses. These are the slightly longer hoses that are used on, I think, the back of a truck, Ford truck. Let's see. If you're doing these, do yourself a favour and get the blade nipple out of the way. Now that normally is 5/8. That's 5/8. That's smaller, look. So you couldn't take that off and put a ring spanner over there and get it down onto here. That's a bit loose, that 9/16, so I'll try a 14mm. That's a slightly better fit. Oop, wrong way, Mart. Okay. That'll do. And that will go in a bracket there now. Under there, somewhere, about there. I'll do the other side. Now I have a bracket here that I made a long time ago. It's you can see it's just roughed out. This bolts in to a couple of holes in the frame rail. So what I'll do, I'll put this on just to see if it gives me this in the right position, and if it does look like it's okay, I'll kind of tidy it up, because this was all assembled up into like a rolling chassis at one point. So I'm hoping the jobs I did all that time ago, which is probably sort of 8 or 9 years ago, are still okay. So the idea is that will go in there like that. That routing looks alright to me, down there, under there, and there, looks alright. And obviously you can turn the suspension from side to side, turn the steering from side to side, and imagine it going up and down. It's not going to hit anything, so I think that's going to be okay. Looks good actually, nice and tidy. And somewhere I've got some of those clips, so I'll find those. So on the strength of that, I will clean those brackets up and you know, make them fit nice and tidy them up and radius all the corners. There's the brake bracket after a little bit of cleaning up with a wire wheel and not a wire wheel, yeah, a wire wheel and a grinding disc. Trim it down, radius the corners. Used a flat wheel to kind of give it a little bit of a thing. No need to go too fancy. What I didn't realise, there's 2 sawn off bolts in this piece of metal. There, look, see. But they won't affect it. So that'll get bolted on the inside, out of sight. And the brake pipe will go in there with a clip. I might have trimmed it off a bit too much to make the clip work properly, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I might see if I can find some 1/4 inch ones to replace these. But these will do for now. More or less just proving the point really that, you know, this bracket's going to do the job. Because you need to be able to do this do these things and then move on. You can then kind of tick that off the list, can't you, and move on. What's the next thing that ain't quite working? Then you can get that working. Okay. Right, so there's that thing. Where's that clip gone? I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be the correct clip. I'm hoping that this will go on here. It might not. It might be too tight, I don't know. That's better. That's really tight now. That looks a lot better, I think. I like things just right, you know what I mean? What you got to watch for is the hose getting bound up, and that's all the way to the one side, and that's all the way to the other side. And that's fine, isn't it? Wow. And that's straight ahead. I'm quite pleased with that. That looks all right. You know, and it's not incongruous. I just looked at my friend's car yesterday and all the brake pipe fittings were on the top here like this, and we said, yeah, you can move those. That looks alright, doesn't it? Nice and tidy. I'm going to put that there because I'm going to just put a bit of paint on this. Okay, I'll give it another coat when it's dry. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. It's good, isn't it? Nice, tidy. Just to do the other side now, I suppose. Cool, man. Looking good. It's amazing though, isn't it, how long you can take just making sure every little bit is to your satisfaction. That's the pleasure of building a car, isn't it? You concentrate on each little bit at a time until you're happy with it. The thing with this bracket was I wanted to use existing holes. I didn't want to drill any more holes in the frame, and I think that's worked out quite well. And those brackets were cut from a piece of rectangular tubing. That's why you've got the bend there and the radius. It could be made from sheet metal, but that was actually cut from a piece of tubing. Okay, cylinder's done, brackets done, pipes checked, looking good. See there's my bracket that I made for that side. I haven't been able to find the bracket for that side. Well, I'll let you into a secret, I have just found it, but I'll show you how I was able to find it. I searched all through, you can see I've tipped them all out, all these boxes of parts over here. And I'll show you what I just did, hang on, I'll come back in a sec. I went back to my video, this is my video on the computer, of when I was stripping it down, and what I noticed was, in one of these scenes, somewhere here, you just catch a glimpse, yeah, there, of this battered, it's actually a saucepan, but I managed to run over it when I was moving one of the cars, and I can't kind of freeze it enough here, but in that, let me see if I can see it on the live action. In that tin, you can't quite see it. Who's that handsome devil? Bye. Just at that moment there, and in this dented tin is the bracket that I've been looking for. So right, okay, let's go back up the garage now. So up this untidy corner of the garage is this I looked and I found the dented tin, and there's the dented tin, and in it is my bracket. I know it's nothing to look at, and I could have made another one in sort of 10 minutes flat, but that's not the point, is it? There's my bracket. I can now trim this one the same as I trimmed that one, and that one will go in there. That'll give me somewhere to mount the hose to. Okay, that's just a little quickie, just a little bit of fun. Just shows how, you know, quite a few times actually I've reviewed the video to try and work out what happened in a certain circumstance. Like for instance, I thought, well, when did I crack that bore in number 8 bore on the old 59 Flatty, and I was able to go back through the footage, then I could see the actual moment when I did it, you know, just to add insult to injury. Okay, thanks a lot then, bit of fun. I'll catch you on the next one, bye. Hello, I showed you that little bit of nonsense about finding that bracket. There's the one that I'd already done in there, and there's the one that I have just found. I've modified it up, give it a quick lick of paint, and fitted the hose, put a clip on it. Hopefully you can see that. So there we go, there's the brake cylinders and there's the hoses all fitted up. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's a bit more to show. Hello, look, I've got a little air compressor. I picked this up by the side of the road. It had been put out for rubbish, for scrap. I ran it yesterday and it went up to about 30 pounds pressure, and then it kind of stopped compressing, and now it runs, but it's not building any pressure. And on the inlet here you can feel it blowing in and out. So I thought I'd have a little look inside and see if I can see anything. It should be useful for blowing tyres up, you know. Look at the vibration on that. Okay, I'll bring you back in a bit. So what does that mean? So there's these two things here, isn't there? So this one here would need to seal against there, wouldn't it, to build pressure? Because that, yeah, that's the outlet and that's the inlet. So there's the inlet on that side there, and that goes in there. So imagine it's just a case of cleaning this, cleaning these, cleaning that, and putting it back together. See what happens. God, it's noisy. Why is it so noisy? It's not building much pressure, is it? No, it's stopped pumping again now. I can feel it blowing at the side. Oh no, it's coming out of there. Oh, it is sucking. I wonder if that's blocked. It's not building any pressure. It's got some pressure in it, but not much. It only goes up to about 30 psi. Might be worth just looking to see what the piston rings are like, mightn't it? Well, the bore looks alright. The rings aren't stuck. Need to get Road King and Mike on the job. Musty one. Stand by for pandemonium. I can feel it blowing there. I can feel it blowing here. You can feel it coming out here. Look away. The gasket's a bit torn there and there. It might be a bit thick there. And this is a bit, it's either got stuff stuck to it. It's got like remnants stuck to it here. I think with a pair of new gaskets it'll work pretty well. Yeah, that one looks like it's never been disturbed. I've just taken that plate and cleaned it up with a wire wheel, and I'm going to do the same with this one. I've just had a look and the plates are actually exactly the same. They're just assembled up opposite to each other to give an inlet and an outlet. There's the head. I'll just go and give that a clean up. I might lap it. I just started sort of lapping that on the table of the drilling machine, and it's gone flat there, but it hasn't touched there, so I don't know if this head's a little bit low there. But it's got a seal across there, otherwise you've got the inlet and the outlet leaking to each other. I'll carry on doing that for a little bit. Okay, back in a sec. Just had another go at it for about another 5 minutes, and it's not too bad now. There's just a tiny little bit there, but I think that'll be okay now. If I had a compressor, I could blow it out. Okay, how am I going to clean this then? Did you see that? So I need to make one to fit this now. Oh, that's the thing. Is that thick enough? So I'll leave these slightly loose. And I'll start it up and see if it rattles. Which it doesn't. So the piston isn't hitting that head, that plate, so that's okay. In other words, that gasket is thick enough. Keep your fingers crossed then, eh? Stand clear. Look at that. Tell you what, that's the first time that that's blown off like that, hasn't it, in years. That's better. Can't run it too long, can you? Because this isn't blowing the air over the thing. Good little fix there. So it was just one of those gaskets, because that's all I've changed really. This is a Ford compressor, because it was found on roadside dead. But this is light enough to just carry it out the front of the house. I can plug it into the little extension in the porch and blow the tyres up on the cars out the front. I've put it back together and I've put the cover on, and here it was broken, so I've put these cable ties in to kind of stitch it back together. It's actually up to pressure. Look, can you see it's holding a good pressure? So there's that. So we can just blow a bit of air off. Oh, hang on. I turned it off when I leant on it. So that all works. Now don't forget, it wouldn't go above 30 psi when I got it. So that's just sitting there now, so let's blow a bit of air off. Blow a bit of dust off as well. So there you go, handy little tool. I'll turn it off so it don't kick in the middle of the night. There we go, turn it off. Okay, thanks very much for joining me then. That's another useful little tool in the shop. For nothing. Something for nothing. This is in a continuation of the Something for Nothing series. There's the first Something for Nothing, a useful table for nothing. And there's the second Something for Nothing, a useful little compressor for nothing. Cost me 2 bits of gasket paper. Okay, thanks very much for joining me in the garage then. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello, it's another day, and I came out last night actually. I had a little bit of a session late last night, and there's the brazed repair. Now this hasn't been without problems. I think there's a fair bit of distortion gone on in the bore, but I've just spent quite a bit of time truing up the boring head using the tool and a feeler gauge down the side and bumping it around and then locking it up. And I've just started a cut that's bigger than I bored this to 3.400 and this is 3.410. So, and you can see that the cut is going all the way around. Now the problem is, and you can't quite see it, I've got another crack now, and it runs that way on that side of the bore, side to side, about 1.5 inches down. I have not really got much choice. I don't want to braze it again because it's going to distort everything even more. So I'm going to leave that one and just drill a little hole at each end of it and then apply some sealant to it. And I think, because I think that, I mean, a crack running that way will still support the liner. Okay, you've got sort of problems going this way, but you know, it's all very much of a compromise anyway, isn't it? So let's I thought I'd just stop the machine while, so you can see down there. I don't know if you can see up the bore. Let's have a look up. And when I've got to the end of the cut, I'll show you that other crack. Let's set it running again. Oh yeah, I had some problems with it, and in the end I traced it down to this this connector here, the wire had pulled out of there. I had all the motor apart and everything apart. When I wired the motor directly to a plug, it ran, but this connector here was faulty, that connector there. Right. So that's taken a cut now. So it'll be now you can see the crack down there. Look, can you see it? Just below the top of the brazed area. You can see it at the back down there. About ½ inch below where the cutter is now. So it'll be interesting to see how this cut cleans up going down that thing, down that brazed area. I bet it don't clean up there on the other side, that crack. No, it hasn't. Look. Can you see that it's gone an intermittent cut? But it is cutting just the other side. There's about a ½ inch gap. If I had better equipment and was able to warm it up very slowly and let it cool down very slowly, I probably would have avoided that secondary crack. You see it cutting across the braze, working its way down. I might put a new tip in the tool. I'll let that cut get down to the bottom. It is cleaning up all the way around, so I was quite pleased because it was difficult to true it up. Yeah, there's going to be some voids on this side, I think, even at the finished size. I've got no choice, have I, but to just go to the finished size. The machine's not too happy with it with an intermittent cut. That sounds almost like a complete cut down the bottom there. That's a good view, isn't it? It's going to stop in a sec. You might as well look like that. Bang, there you go. That's it. So I'll have another look down there. Okay. Oh, you can see it much more clearly now. Okay. Let me get the camera so I can see. There's the crack at the back there. It runs from around about here round to about there. There's the brazed repair down the middle. And there's like a couple of voids there. Actually, they're not too big. I think they will actually clean up. So I'm just going to carry on now out to finished bore size. So this is my routine. Here's the tool. You have to have it crossways like that. You get the micrometer, put it on, get the Allen key in there. This tool just goes up the end there to push on the end of the tool. It's not a specific tool for that, it's the tool for doing the tips. So then I've got 10th thou on there, so let's go to, let's just do 10th thou at a time. So let's go to 20. I forgot to take the micrometer out last time and it went whizzing round and banged against there. Right, that's just another 10th thou. I'm not going to go mad at it. I'll do another cut with this tip and then I'll put a new tip on for the last two cuts. Shame about that second crack. Oh, it ain't going down. Oh, no. So it wasn't engaged at the top there. It's going down now. Okay, it's juddering, so I'm going to stop it. I'll bring it up and I'll change the tip. I don't know whether to do it directly or no, I'll take it out. There's the tip. I've ordered some new tips, so I feel quite lavish with the tips at the moment. They're not very expensive. So I don't mind using them a bit. Right, let's stick a new one in. Where's the new one? There's the new one. They're very, very small, very fiddly, but ideal for this job, to be honest. I wouldn't fancy having to regrind high-speed steel tools all the time. I mean, these machines, when they were new, they came with like special lapping devices for the high-speed steel tools. Right, that's got a new tip in it now. Whoops. Okay. That's alright. Put those in the tin. Let's do it. Start again. Hopefully it'll go down without judder now. Without chatter on it. I think I've got that, must have that setting wrong. It's barely skimming the other bore. I think I've set that at the wrong setting. I think I've got it at the same size bore as the last one. It was just kissing that original bore there. So what I've done, I've got it there now, and I'm just going to slide it out till it touches the bore. So that's just kissing that bore now. Now, then it should start cutting, but hopefully without judder. Yeah, that's cutting smoothly now with that new tip. Did you hear how it was juddering before? Maybe I'll just put a little bit of the clip in from before, just now, to show you. So it's cutting nicely now. Of course it'll all look fantastic with a liner in it, won't it? When I put the sleeve in, it'll all look fantastic. It's just coming down to that brazed bit there. There's the crack. It is cleaning up there, and there's a few thousand to go yet, so hopefully it will clean up. You can see it's cleaning up that area at the back now. That area at the back's getting cleaned up. There's a bit of a void at the back there. Probably when I heated it, you know, it will have expanded like that. The sleeves that I've got are a thick wall well, you know, relatively thick. They're quarter-inch thick. No, not quarter-inch thick. 1/8 of an inch thick. It takes 7 minutes for a pass from there to there. So it's about 1 inch a minute. I'm going to put the kettle on. See the switch being pushed down. Just at the point where it graunches to a halt at the step, it'll click off. There. Okay, let's see how that looks then. Okay, yeah, don't look too bad. That crack looks terrible, but there's a bit of a void there. Look, that might just about go by the time I get to the finished size. The rest of it's all cleaned up. But if you... Can you see that it's just actually... I mean, there is a crack, but it isn't as big as it looks because it's the cast iron dust sticks to it. I'm just going to keep pushing on now to the finished bore. I'm going to go one more... I'll do 2 cuts now. One halfway to finished size, which I will measure, and then I'll use the measurement to... I've done that wrong. I'll use the measurement to adjust the tool for the finished size. Right. Just want to see if it's not cleaned up on that void there. Some of it's gone. It's good though. Pretty good that. Pleased with that. I'll stop the camera now because it's red. Hello. Right. I've just took the last cut and I just wanted to kind of record for posterity this repair. It's not a perfect repair, but hopefully it'll be good enough to allow this engine to run. There is actually a void at the bottom of the bore, just down there where that scratch is, where the tool came out, just to my side of that, about 3/8 of an inch my side of that, so you should be able to see that. The braze looks okay. The braze looks okay. There's a little void there, but that doesn't matter, and there is a crack there, which I am debating how I'm going to go about trying to drill that. When you go to this size, which is 3.440, you will touch the water jacket here and there. I've got to do something with that crack and just put a drilling at each end. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I've got one long drill, but it's quite a big diameter. I might need to kind of improvise. I don't really want to drill a big hole. That's how it looks. The bore actually looks okay, and the boring machine did a good job, and the braze looks okay. I'm just annoyed that I ended up with that secondary crack, but I'd rather have a crack going that way around the cylinder than the other way around the cylinder. I don't know why, just my gut instinct tells me that that's preferable. Okay, the boring machine can come off now, so just give you the overall picture. There's the overall picture with the boring machine. So that can come off now, and I've actually ordered some Loctite to use on this end cylinder. So what I might as well do is flip the motor and start boring the other side as well, and just quietly forget about this until it's time to fit the liners. Then I'll fit the liners in 1 or 2 sessions well, actually, I think I can only fit them 2 at a time. For instance, I can fit these end 2 and then have the boring machine clamped here and trim that one, get it flat, then trim that one, get it flat, and then put the boring machine there and fit these 2, trim that one, get it flat, trim that one, get it flat. I can't put all 4 in because I won't be able to put the boring machine on with 4 liners sticking up. Then I've got to repeat the process on this side. You know, look at this, what a state. These will look lovely when they've got liners in. I'm hoping I haven't cracked one of those as well, because that's a right pain in the arse. Okay, if this is the end of this one, I'll see you next time. If it isn't, back in a bit. Cheers then. Bye.